Hi, this is Mike Zapsik from a Shared Universe podcast studio, and you're listening to Talking Codswallop Podcast.
Hey, it's Taylor from Calling the Shots.
Hey, this is Steve from Calling the Shots.
Hey, what's up? It's Mike from the Pizza Beer Revolution podcast.
Hi, this is Derek D from PBR Podcast and DerekG.com, of course. And you are listening to Talking Codswallop. Talking Codswallop. How you guys doing? This is great. This is the POTUS. It's President of the United States, Donald. You're looking to wallop the swelling. That's what you're listening to. It's great. I got to tell you, the swallop of the wall is great. I love walls. And the cod wallop, it's swallop. Fantastic. You're listening to it. Wallops, cods. Fish, walls, swallows.
This week's Talking Codswallop, where we are coming from the fires of hell. My name is Gemma, and I am grumpy and hot and sweaty.
Yeah, I am James, and I'm currently locked in a room with the Vietnamese man shouting, "Diddy Mao, Diddy Mao," at me. Yes, people, it's that hot. It's like being a prisoner of war in some hot tropical clime. It's that good.
Oh, it is. Well, it's not good. It's bloody horrible. It's bloody disgusting. So you might get a grumpy version of Gemma this week. Sorry, Salty Tadpoles, but you're going to have to just deal with it, you know.
You have to take the reels, people.
You kind of tune into this podcast to hear us moan, so good luck listening to this episode. Oh, dear. So... Anyway, James, how have you been this week? Oh, actually, last couple of weeks, because I haven't spoken to you for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I've not been too bad. It's the weather's been a bit up and down. Like today's a very, very, very hot day, but I've generally been doing okay. But it's that lovely moment when you finish your day at work, you get in the car and you can hardly touch anything because it's so warm.
I know, it is so disgusting. I mean, I haven't really been in the car today, apart from earlier. I went out for a little drive because we almost didn't record this episode, basically, because I was in such a grumpy mood. Like, I'm in kind of a comical grumpy mood now, but before I was in a horrendously, I'm such a bitch kind of zoning out kind of mood. And but I wasn't like that with Chris, so that was good. You know, I was very good with him.
So is Chris hiding in part of the house?
No, he's off with his mate at the moment, so he's kindly gone out, but he's also kindly gone to the pub as well, so I'm going to go and pick him up after we finish recording, so because I'm that good.
Yeah, that is good of you, because it's that moment, as I said, when you get in the car, like your hands fuse with the steering wheel.
Yeah, I had the aircon on full, and then I had also the windows open, which I know doesn't make any sense, but it made it extra cool, so I was happy.
The worst thing I found, though, is when you first turn the air conditioning on, you get that blast of hot air, though, that comes from it. Or do you not get that? For the first few seconds, when the air's circulating, you get hit with a huge amount of hot air, but then it does cool down. But I did the same thing as you, which is when I was leaving work and had the aircon and everything on. I had the windows open for a short time just to try and get as much cold air going in as possible. And then you find yourself trying to drive at speed to get air whizzing through the car, but it's not always that simple. So
it's not. No, it is not that simple. And it is, I even messaged my friend Luke and Beach, who also listened to the show. Hi, Luke and Beach. And
aloha.
Yeah. Aloha, yeah. Luke is in New Zealand, and I'm going to plug his podcast as well, just quickly, because I really love his podcast. It's called Lights in the Sky Podcast, which is a comedy paranormal podcast, but more comedy rather than paranormal at the moment, but they're going back that way. Anybody who listens to their show kind of knows what I'm talking about, but yeah, it's definitely really good, and I love the Kiwi accent anyway, so it's always nice to hear the two lads, especially when they say no one instead of known. I rip them for it always. So anyway, I messaged him and I messaged Beej as well. Basically, I said to them, how do they cope in this heat? You know, because it's not quite Australia heat. because they're normally about 40 degrees, aren't they? Yeah, we're sort of 32, 33 sort of at this point. That's Celsius for our international listeners. Actually, Luke gave me a good recommendation, which was, well, he said it's for a dog's bed, but he still uses it in the summer.
Okay.
But no, it's actually, what it is it's like a big pillow type thing, and it's got cooling agents inside.
Ah, interesting.
So I did a little Amazon search at about 3:00 this morning when I couldn't sleep. There's a couple of pillows on there, so I decided to buy them. They were like 16 quid for a pack of 2, so I was like, sold. So I'm going to give it a go.
So the strangest situation I had for the heat is I actually slept better last night than I had the night before, but I don't know if you had the thunder and lightning that everyone's had.
Not yet.
Because we had this, and I was chatting to my father about this, because he's got it a bit after. He got it yesterday. We had it the day before. But it was this incredible, like, sheet lightning that went on for hours and hours and hours. Now, I caught some of it because I was up at like 4:30. There wasn't a lot of thunder, but there was a hell of a lot of this amazing lightning play just going in different parts of the sky. It was interesting to see.
Yeah.
You will probably get it, because I think everyone's getting a version of it.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to have thunder and lightning this evening. Whether it be thunder or just lightning, I'm not sure, but we're supposed to be having it this evening, but who knows?
I just want to say, Salty Tadpoles, I hope you're enjoying tuning in for this week's Codswallop Weather Chat.
Indeed, we're being very British.
Yes.
We're moaning and bitching.
Yep. And I'll also share something with the sweet, gentle, salty tadpoles. An important thing that I want to share with everybody listening, which is when you've eaten something spicy like I have, be very, very careful when you rub your eyes, because I've just learned. Because, oh boy, can I feel that chili in my eye?
Oh.
Yes.
And knowing you as well, it is quite a strong chili as well. So.
Oh yeah. It's burn. It's a burn. Yeah.
If it helps, I got sweat pouring into my eyes. So does that help?
if my eye suddenly drops out in the middle of conversation, so I'm just pouring water to try and sort that out. So yeah, hopefully it'll all be okay. I can tough it out. I'll be fine.
I'm sure you will. And if anybody can hear background noise on my end, I've got every single window and door open. I have turned the fan off, but so that's my dedication to you guys. Anyway. Yeah.
And the short answer is, because it's so hot. If you don't like it, I'm sorry at this point, guys and gals, tough shit.
Yeah,
basically, it's hot.
Yeah, exactly. So just be grateful that you got an episode, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, absolutely. See, this week we're not only giving them weather and chilly information, we're practicing tough love.
Yeah, exactly.
So if anyone would like me to, just drop me an email and I'll happily abuse you verbally.
Oh, that would be amazing. Right. What I was going to say was, you got any Codswallop this week? But I think we've already gone into it, really, haven't we? So have you got any extended Codswallop that isn't related to the weather?
Not really, actually, that I can think of, to be honest. There's nothing else that's really Codswallop that I've got to share. It's generally been reasonably good as things have gone, as far as I can think. Nothing else has popped in my head that's caused me a major bit of annoyance. No, I think it's all okay.
Yeah, I think I'm okay as well. I have got a funny-ish story, or a story related to, I managed to insult someone and please someone using one sentence at the same time.
Oh, go on. I've got to know how you can do that.
Yeah. So basically, I was in Tesco's earlier. Other supermarkets are available. Basically, there was this guy in there who was at customer services, and he was asking if there was any masks that he could, he was trying to borrow a mask, basically, or not borrow one, but, get one for free sort of thing. And, the woman goes, well, we've got these for sale, blah, blah, blah. I just turned around to the guy, because I had a spare disposable one in my bag. I said, here, mate, you just take this one. And, and I was just like, well, because it's a nice gesture.
Yeah, it does seem a nice gesture, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. And it was, pack of 5 for £5. So, it cost me £1 in total for that one mask, And so I said, here you go, mate. And he was like, really appreciated. But then the woman served me, and you should have seen her face, because she was like, I was trying to sell him some stuff, you know? And it's like, she was really pissed off. And I was like, I was trying to do something good.
I mean, I can see it from both sides, but, you know, you can't please other people all the time.
No, exactly. And then I just made a joke that, because I kept smiling underneath the mask, because I was wearing one of the disposable ones. I couldn't be bothered to wear my funky mask today. I was just not in the mood for a funky mask day today. And I kept smiling at her. And I went, oh, you I don't know why I keep smiling. I said, you can't tell that I'm smiling under here. She goes, oh, I can tell. But then she kind of like brightened up a little bit. So
good.
Yeah, I was just like, really? But then she was probably, she probably had to deal with stuff like that all day, people trying to scav stuff. So I could give him one, pardon the pun. I could give him one. So yeah, exactly. So I decided that, that was my gesture of goodwill today. And still deep down, I'm still a good person.
a gesture of goodwill, and it kind of bit you in the arse, but it came back full circle and was lovely. So what's the important lesson for
exactly.
tadpoles? Never do anything nice for anybody.
Exactly. Yeah, sort of. Oh dear. But these things, I'm always going to try and do something nice.
Mm-hmm.
You pay it forward, don't you? So
you do. You do. And to be fair, it is nice. In all seriousness, it's nice to try and do things that help people. It feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we got poor connection. We got poor connection at the moment, James. So
really,
I don't know. Hopefully that can go away. Go away, poor connection.
Yeah.
Go away. Don't make you become one of my codswallops this week, because I'm not in the mood.
But indeed, you may well do.
It still says, well, it still says poor connection, but I can hear you, so I'm just going to carry on.
I can hear you.
It obviously heard my threats and was like, well, I'm going to stay here for a couple more seconds just to say that I'm not listening, and then I'm going to, come back to it. Other news this week from me is I tried with the vaping to give up smoking. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't work out for me, unfortunately. Vaping is just not for me, basically. It kept making my chest really, really tight. And I kept feeling really sick with it as well. Mm. Yeah, so, but then also I can't go into saunas. And I can't, when you tip your head over a bucket of hot water, when you've got a cold and things.
For steam.
I can't, for the steam, yeah. So I can't do that either, because I can't breathe properly. So I suppose it was always going to be the case that probably wouldn't work for me. But, still, I tried.
You tried.
Yeah, what I am going to be doing, because I'm still going to be giving up, and I'm more determined now to do it. But I've contacted the doctor, and they actually spoke to me today about it. And I'm going to be doing the Champex that I talked about before.
I remember you saying that.
Which is the tablet, basically. So it's like first week you can smoke for a week or thereabouts, until you want to kind of stop. And then for me, it'll be from second week onwards, I won't be smoking. So that'll be good. And not to gloat, but because I'm diabetic, I can get it on prescription, so I don't have to pay for the prescription, so that's quite nice.
Every little helps, to quote a very famous supermarket.
Which we've already referenced this afternoon as well, or today.
Indeed, at some point today they have been referenced in all their glory.
Yeah, what we'll have to do is just to even it out, we'll have to tap our bums as well.
Yes, no one can see us doing it, but there we go. Yeah.
It's sound of change in the back pocket.
Yes.
Dear.
If only I had the money to actually have change, in these harsh times. I'll rattle I don't know, what can I rattle? I've got nothing to rattle around here. So.
Oh, yeah, and how are the glory holes as well, James? Because did you listen to last week's episode? Not yet.
I could lie and say yeah, but no, I haven't. The glory holes, I'm thinking of renting them out, making myself some money in these harsh economic times, making the people work hard.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I saw some weird article, or like when it flashes up on stuff that says something, a glory hole had saved somebody's life somewhere. Was it Australia or something? Some weird stuff like that. I don't know. I didn't click it. I didn't want to know. But I just thought it was a very strange article.
Yeah, I think because it was covered on the Ralph Report. And I think what the story is that people are saying that it's safer to go to a glory hole as long as you know who your partner is.
Mm-hmm.
Or the partner or person that's going to be on the other end because of COVID and stuff. So it's actually going to be safer because then you're not breathing on one another. But surely somebody's going to be breathing on something.
Yes, absolutely. Probably quite heavily as well.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, saliva and whatnot. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, it's kind of... Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one, that one. So
it's a very odd one.
Yeah. But no, it's far too hot for all that jazz at the moment anyway.
It is. Now, I think we can segue perfectly from discussion of the glory hole to something that you sent me as an interesting story of the week. Without further ado, we have a wonderful article. Sweet gentle tadpoles, listen to this. So a man loses his penis to an infection. That's bad. But the doctors build him a new one on his arm. That's good. So, a British man who lost his penis to a severe blood infection now has a new one built on his arm. Malcolm MacDonald, whose surgeons were able to add an extra 2 inches to his manhood, well done to those surgeons, is now awaiting the final surgery to transfer it to its rightful place, reporters say. The 45-year-old man had a perineum infection that worsened into sepsis. And soon he saw his fingers, toes and penis turn black. According to a report by The Sun, question it at this point, but he was completely gutted when his penis fell off. I think I'd be a little more than gutted if that happened. I think I'd be terrified. In 2014, this happened to him. Yeah, I think I'd be a bit more than just, oh dear. Although, strange, his testicles were intact, the outlet road. Yeah, weird. Okay, this is getting to strange territory.
Yeah, it's like an oops moment, isn't it? Oops, it fell off.
So, he is reportedly nicknamed the appendage Jimmy and can now find the humour in the situation while he awaits the final procedure. And he says, of course, it is mad having a penis on your arm. Yeah, I'm sure that no one else would ever notice that was quite strange, would they? McDonald told the outlet. Not even I'm used to it. When you think about it, it's actually amazing. Well, he's got a point there. So Professor David Ralph at London's Universal College Hospital has expertise in penile reconstruction and built McDonald's new penis out of a skin graft from his left arm. A tube and a hand pump are allowed to allow for mechanical erection, like a Meccano set, but only better. The man already has 2 children, so he wasn't worried about sex down that road. It was always more about self-confidence and simple things like using the loo. I can understand that, yeah. When McDonald was due for the operation to transfer the new penis to the groin area, he was reportedly unwell and it was pushed to a later date. The coronavirus pandemic further added to the delays. The man hopes to have the final surgery by the end of the year, he said. Well, you know, I would say give a big hand to him, but that kind of sounds wrong.
I mean, the things that because I've heard this story a couple of times because I've heard it on various different podcasts. So I thought I'd already picked this story a couple of days or weeks before they were actually dropped. So, but I thought we still need to cover it. It's an important story.
It is.
Yeah, it's like, first of all, this guy is walking around with a black penis, and he isn't black, so you know he's not. That's not normal. Why don't men go to the doctor straight away? Is one of my questions.
Well, I suspect when it says black, I think when it probably says black penis, it doesn't mean black like a skin colour. It means like jet black, as in dead, decaying flesh black. And personally, if my toes are dropping off and my dick dropped off, I wouldn't even wait till the dick dropped off. I'd be like, my toes are going to drop off. I think I better go and see a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my absolute point, because it's like, and I knew that it wasn't black as in like skin colour. Yeah. I knew that it was black as in decaying. I was just sort of trying to make a joke there, which obviously didn't land very well. But, you know.
That's also helping paint a picture for the salty tadpoles.
Well, I don't think they need it, but yeah, that's cool. But yeah, seriously, I mean, it's just like, when you start getting symptoms of an infection or whatever, go to the doctor. But also, I want to know, did his fingers and his toes drop off? Or was it just his penis?
I think his toes must have gone. I mean, if you've got a problem where things are going black, it's also like the severe blood circulation problems. But I mean, the pain must have been. The pain alone, you'd think, this isn't right. I'm racked with agony. But I mean, the main point is at least he's going to have a schlong of some sort, in place.
And 2 inches bigger as well.
That's true, I mean, he'll have to use some sort of weird system to get, go from Mr. Floppy to Mr. Happy. But, round of applause.
He said that there was a hand pump, didn't he? So that's quite handy in a way. So it's like, if you're one of those people that's got good stamina, it can drop down and it can rise back up within seconds. That's
true. I like your positive spin on that. Yeah. As long as nobody mistakes it for a blood pressure pump, he'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah. Or accidentally in a supermarket, he leans on a shelf or something. Leans against a shelf and inflates.
Yeah, and the worst case scenario is just imagine this for a horror story. That happens, boing, 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 and he's like in the children's aisle somewhere. Ooh, that would not look good.
It would not look good at all. No, definitely not. A story that I've brought a couple of stories with me, but we don't have to do all of them. But this one was actually given to me by Lucy Caton. So I said that I would read it out on the show. So this one is, you remember the guy that we talked about a little while ago who collected flip-flops?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. So this one is from Berlin, and it's not a human this time, but it is a fox. So the headline reads, "Fox found with an impressive shoe collection in Berlin." Right, let's scroll. A fox in a leafy suburb of Berlin has been getting into the spirit of summer by collecting flip-flops. For weeks, residents of Zehlen Dorf. How would you say that, James?
Zellendorf, maybe?
Could be, yeah, Zellendorf.
Can you spell it again for me? Z-E-H?
Yeah, it's L-E-N and then Dorf.
Zellendorf. Yeah,
Zellendorf. Okay. So we're baffled that a thief was stealing their flip-flops and sports shoes from the gardens at night. Finally, a man spotted the culprit on a patch of wasteland carrying 2 flip-flops in his mouth, the Daily German paper reports. The fox had a hoard of over 100 shoes, but not the man's missing running shoe. Oh no. So the man's still missing his running shoe. I know. Maybe it was a badger out there doing the same thing. The man was suspected it might be a fox after raising the matter on the Neighbourhood Watch website and getting complaints from other locals about their missing pair of shoes. Or one missing shoe. Yeah, so that's the end of that episode. So that's the end of that episode. So that's the end of that story. So basically, yes, so this fox is stealing shoes. So how do we feel about this, James?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, to see that we like the idea, or I sort of like think it's lovely and cute, and I suppose most people would, that a fox is doing this. But when a man does it, we think they're a crazy, perverted mess.
Yeah. Unless they're in cahoots, of course. Maybe they swap.
It's possible. Yeah, the fox. Oh god, that'd be a real nightmare, wouldn't it? The fox is like his pet and he's trained it. Yeah, so he carries them on. Yeah, because I can't remember where the man was from actually, because it wasn't England, was it? It was a foreign country as well. Yeah, I want to say it was. Yeah, let's not slander any other countries, but I think it's some sort of Far Eastern country.
Yeah, that or Mexico. I don't know why I've got Mexico in my head, but I feel as though it was that sort of a Spanishy kind of filter. Anyway,
You've heard it. You've heard it here first, Salty Tadpoles. She's going after the Mexicans, and next episode's going to be build a wall, build a wall.
No, knock down that wall. That's what I say. Oh dear, but yeah, it is quite a cute story, really, isn't it? That the fox has been stealing shoes, but. Yeah, I also agree with you that if it was a man doing it, or a woman doing it,
but if it was a human, double standards.
Yeah, definitely double standards. I've got a choice of two here, so I'll read the headlines and you tell me. Well, we could also do both if you want. So the first one that I've got is woman catches Amazon driver mid squat pooing in her garden.
Okay.
Or, you know how I like bodily functions? Or, pensioner drives mobility scooter on a busy motorway causing massive traffic jam.
You know me and my love for traffic, and also the Amazon one just makes me think of Mr. Sprinkles. So let's run with the woman on the motorway. It's
a pensioner on a very sexist of you.
How incredibly sexist of me. Tune in, Salty Tadpoles. What's worse, casual racism, just thinking that someone with a shoe fetish could be from Mexico, or my casual sexism against some old person on a mobility scooter?
Assuming the gender was female, I think was more the issue there, actually.
Shocking.
I think for that, I might have to do the Amazon pooing story as well as this one. For the record, it says man on mobility scooter causes traffic jam on motorway.
I know I'm bad, aren't I?
You are. Dare you assume that women drivers are bad? I'm very good, thank you. This could be the end of Talking Codswallop as you know it. Right. Okay, so a pensioner unwittingly caused a massive traffic jam after driving his mobility scooter on a busy Spanish motorway. There you go, Spanish.
Oh, God.
So I knew that Spanish would come into effect eventually. The 88-year-old man wanted to take the fastest route home and ended up in the Gilano Ninano Tani of Gran Canaria. That's not a Spanish accent. That was just me being silly. A video shared online shows him slowly scooting along in the fast lane with no lights on. Oh my God, so he's got no lights on is the emphasis on the story at the moment. Causing a huge queue to form behind him. Horns can be heard beeping in the dash cam footage, which showed the pensioner driving at about 8 miles per hour. The Spanish newspaper La Provica, said police were called and had to drive behind the pensioner with their lights on to safely escort him out of the tunnel and help avoid an accident. Right, so the story continues. Mobility scooters and pensioners are not allowed in the tunnel. They had to make that point. Because this is like average day, isn't it? Like it's always an old person driving it down. Gran Canaria Council tweeted a reminder that pedestrians cannot pass through the tunnel. The man said he was unaware he was committing a crime, and the police decided not to charge him, according to local reports. So he claimed he's old and dithery. The incident, which happened 2 weeks ago, caused significant delays. The end. Yeah.
Yeah, brings a whole new... certainly for the drivers behind him, it brings a whole new meaning to the word highway to hell, doesn't it?
Yeah. Very good. Oh, that's very, very good, James. Well done. I was quite proud of that.
That's right, yeah.
You do, don't you? You do.
I do. I'm very trying.
You are. It's on a highway to hell. Yeah, I have a feeling that old people just do stuff. I think when you get to a certain age, you get to a point where you just do stuff and then you apologise for it later, in a way. And I think that's probably what's happened here. I think we might need to, if I can, I'm going to try and put the audio of the pensioner and all the traffic being beeped and stuff like that in somewhere, either at the beginning of this article, this section, or at the end of it. So, yeah, just so that we can actually hear what actually happened. Well, not you, James, because you won't listen, but...
No, I mean, absolutely. Let's not fool ourselves, even for the wonderful story of the old man on the scooter. Will that pry me into listening? Who knows, Salty Tadpoles? Who knows? You'll just have to, tune in to find out next week.
Definitely. So, yeah, Salty Tadpoles, please don't tell James whether I put the audio in or not. So I'm going to leave in the question whether I'm actually going to put it in or not. And then James needs to report back next week to tell us whether I actually put it in or whether I didn't. Okay,
I mean,
so...
I kind of respect the crazy old man for trying to take the shortest route, but yeah, it's still no. You're a bad man.
Yes, definitely. Very, very naughty slap wrist.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel as though I have to end the stories with this woman catching an Amazon driver mid-squat pooing in her garden. I'm sorry.
I think it's the only way to go. Let's get deep down and dirty.
Yeah, indeed. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Amazon has sacked a delivery driver after a horrified neighbour caught him pooing in her garden. NHS counsellor, of course she's NHS, NHS counsellor Sharon Smith, 53, said she was cooking her dinner when a van pulled up outside her home. Oh, I hope she wasn't cooking sausages. Yeah.
Certainly not. Or some sort of meat roll sort of thing.
Yeah. A man ran from his vehicle across her garden and she followed him, suspecting he could be stealing some wood.
Okay,
what he was doing,
fair enough.
What he was actually doing was leaving some wood.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
A nice log for her.
Yeah. But the mum of two caught the man mid-squat defacing on her property amongst the trees and promptly called the police. Poor man. He was obviously really desperate, wasn't he? Bless him.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is that Amazon people are probably on such a tight deadline. That's probably why it happened. But for amusement reasons, let's keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's not give him too much credit.
Leeway. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Sharon said he even asked what her problem was and got aggressive as he tried to leave. Not leave.
Yeah.
She said, I asked what the heck he was doing, and he just remained pooing whilst asking me what my problem was. The cheek of it. The cheek of it.
I know. It's shocking.
Yeah. He messed with the wrong woman. I'm a blue belt in Taekwondo. And Taekwondo, is it? No, yeah, Taekwondo.
Taekwondo, yeah.
Yeah. And the anger and the rage he saw was enough to put the fear of God in him, or make him shit himself.
Yeah. He clearly didn't put enough fear in him to make the shit actually go back inside his body in shock.
No, exactly. I made it clear I was calling the police, and if he moved, he'd regret it. He emerged.
Well, he would, wouldn't he? Yeah, I think he would regret it if he'd moved,
Yeah, definitely. It's like, also, did he try to wipe his bum with some leaves, or was he just gonna leave a few marks in his underpants? I made it clear I was calling the police. Oh, I've read that bit. Mm-hmm. He emerged from the bush quite aggressive, but I was angrier than him, so kept him there until my husband and then the police arrived. She said the Amazon driver went to deliver a parcel.
Yeah.
With potentially traces of excrement to one of her neighbours in Nut Hill, Nottingham. Oh, there you go. It's Nottingham. It's obviously thought he was Robin Hood. Police attended the scene and questioned the delivery driver, who claimed he was desperate for the toilet. He said he was not feeling well and didn't realise the grounds were part of a private garden. Okay, but I think that's fair enough at this point, especially if it was wooded. I'm not making a pun, but the decision was made not to arrest the Amazon employee on the grounds that he would clean up the mess and his employer would be notified of the incident, Sharon said. After reporting the incident on July the 26th to Amazon, she was told that the driver would be removed from his duties while they investigated. Sharon has been promised a gift voucher from Amazon as a goodwill gesture. £5 off.
Yeah.
Yeah. An Amazon spokesperson said, "This doesn't reflect the high standards we have for our delivery partners, but it also does reflect the hours that we make them drive."
Yes.
Do you think I might have added that last part?
Yes, I think you may have done.
Yeah.
Yes.
The driver will no longer be delivering on behalf of Amazon. I feel sorry for this guy.
Yeah, I do a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it brings. All he was doing was, doing his job, dropping off a parcel.
Yeah, exactly. Why can they not see this? But the fact is that obviously he was absolutely desperate. He didn't realise that it was her garden or whatever, like it said in the article. But yeah, to then have to lose his job as well. Unless Amazon are saying that they've lost his job, but they've just given him a new location or something like that, which hopefully is the case. But yeah, I feel sorry for this guy.
Yeah, it does seem a pretty awful situation to be in.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if Salty Tadpoles, any of you know this Amazon driver who had to take a poo in somebody's garden, please could you let us know so that we can have a chat with him, because I think that, he's a good guy that's just being caught with his pants down.
Yeah. And I'd like to know, would he like some free toilet paper?
Yeah. Because Amazon can deliver.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, really, that's all he was doing. He was sticking to the promise of Amazon can deliver.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Somebody's written, I like to look through the comments, especially at the dodgy ones. So Chewbacca1066, he or she has written, "Some counsellor, zero compassion here.
Yeah.
Hope she doesn't help people with PTSD. She might be seeing him soon, laugh out loud."
Now, that would be a really ironic situation, wouldn't it? I've lost my job. I'm depressed. I'm going to go and see a counsellor. Dog, he walks through the door. "You bitch!"
Somebody else has written, Arnold Hedge has written, "Did he leave a card behind dashing, 'You were out, so we crept in your garden'? At least it wasn't Hermes or Hermes or however you say it, as they would have shoved it through the letterbox."
Oh.
There's some really long ones and I can't be asked to read them, but yeah, some really serious ones, and I'm not going to go any further with that because I've read the comical ones that I can see. So I think story-wise, that's it for this week's episode. James, did you have anything else that you wanted to discuss? Because we are doing a shorter episode, but there is something that I wanted to talk about just before we finish.
There's nothing else I could think of, but I will open the floor to you.
Okay, because one thing that I did want to discuss very briefly, and also kind of need either Salty Tadpoles or Tadpoles, however you want to be called, need some love and support for one of our Salty Tadpoles who's not very well at the moment. And James, you know who I'm referring to, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, one of our lovely Salty Tadpoles, and he's a big supporter of everyone, has fallen very ill and he is in hospital at the moment. So just want to give a big shout out to I don't know if I should say his name, really. It's a really tricky situation because we're trying to be really respectful to the family, basically, but we're also at the same time we want to give good thoughts and stuff as well. So I'm not going to say the person's name, actually.
No, let's just give the good support and the wonderful willing thoughts and the fingers crossed.
Yeah, because, this person gives a lot of love, so we really need to give a lot of love back to him. And if everyone could do that, even if you just like sit quietly for just 1 second or 2 minutes, however long you want to do, and you just send out some love to this person who's in hospital at the moment. And he's doing a lot better than he was, which is fantastic news. And I sent him an audio file because he's a very good friend of mine, and I sent him an audio file because he was unfortunately unconscious at one point on a ventilator, and his mate played the audio. I was told that his eyes kind of flickered a little bit, which I thought was, I thought it was really, like, it was almost goosebumpy, you know, because it was like me just joking around, you know, obviously it was sentimental stuff as well, but it was me joking around saying, "Oi, you, get out of bed, you lazy sod," you know, kind of thing as well. But yeah, so he's got a long way to go until he's completely healed, but he just needs lots of love, please. So yeah, if we can all just take a moment, please, and just like say lots of love, and then yeah, that would be really good. I am pleased though that he is getting better, and
thinking major positive thoughts. So
yeah,
major
definitely
positive thoughts.
Yeah, every day seems to be getting better and better. So fingers crossed. Yeah. So, yeah, so I can't really end the episode on a downer now, can I? But, you know, it is important to do the positivity as well. Well, to be honest, that is kind of the end of our Codswallop this week anyway. So,
yeah, I think it's a wonderful wrap-up point.
Yeah, me too. And there's also a live show that's going to be in the pipelines as well, which I need to discuss with James before. And I actually announce it on here because I'm not sure if James is going to get involved or not. But yeah, so there's a few live things that are going to be coming down the pipeline very soon as well. So stay tuned for those kind of things. September's going to be quite busy for me and James. As long as you want to do it, obviously. Yeah. All right, okay. Well, in that case then, I think we've been talking enough Codswallop this week. I am the super duper sweaty, lovely Gemma.
I am the soon-to-return to my internment camp, James.
And I'm going to go and have a shower. Goodbye.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
You can smell me from here, can't you, James?
Well, I didn't want to say anything, but yeah.
Very nice.